Picture this. You're chilling at home, getting ready to watch E3 2021, when the stream starting soon screen goes to black, and you hear followed by an atomic breath. We get to watch Shin Godzilla go on an all-out rampage, destroying a city that you recognize as Paris. As Shin is about to reach the Eiffel Tower, you hear a second roar. And Legendary Pictures' Godzilla rushes the scene and tackles Shin Godzilla, sending him flying. As it lands, it turns around and looks at Legendary, then proceeds to shoot his purple atomic breath. Legendary as well proceeds to shoot his right back at Shin. So their beams crash, and then boom, title screen, Godzilla, Destroyer, Savior. Hey guys, Noble Knight Surge here with a brand new series on the channel, which I kind of announced back in New Year's Eve. Yeah, it's been a couple of months since that announcement, I'm sorry about that, when I said something about making Sonic Adventure 3, which that was meant to be the first episode of the series, making X video game. But due to multiple issues, all ranging from commissions not being done to not really liking how my original recording came out, I decided to push it back and make this video the first episode. Now, I'm not sure if the next Making X game will be SA3, but trust me, I've got a couple of good ones coming up, so please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, go down in the comment section and let me know what you think of all these concepts of games, since at the end of the day, I'm not a game dev and can't make them a reality by myself, and I'll probably never see them come to life. But would you buy them if either these or something that was extremely similar to it got announced, or what would you do differently if you were the one making these? Anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Godzilla, the king of the monsters, has been around since 1954, starting as a message of the destructive power of nuclear weapons, but now he mostly just does battles against big-ass monsters. And he has arguably not had a good game in a while, with the last game the G-Man has had was, well, Godzilla, PS3/PS4, back in 2014, so it's been a good couple of years. I think this idea I have will be a really fun Godzilla game, and it'll be more inclusive than just hardcore Godzilla fans, and will bring in some other kaiju lovers to enjoy this game. So let's get started. Story mode. The story is super simple and, well, we'll explain this logo of the game. I was originally trying to do something super Godzilla, and well, I binged through the entire Heisei era of Godzilla, and some of the Showa era as well, in order to get some ideas going around my head. Well, in the end, I decided upon something entirely different. The opening cutscene of the game is a couple of Japanese friends, and their late 20s, early 30s, having some drinks at a bar after work. After a violent shaking from the earth, think one of the scenes that shows Godzilla walking onto land, where it causes the earth to shake. The friends decide to head to one of their homes where they can keep drinking. When they arrive, they notice the sheer amount of Godzilla figures that this person owns, from all the monsters you can think of, from the different styles of Godzilla, Showa, Heisei, TriStar, Millennium, Legendary, Shin, to the more famous Toho monsters like Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra, Mechagodzilla, Biollante, Gigan, etc., with all the different versions of each of them. But not only that, he also has some monsters that weren't Toho. Some King Kong, some Ghidorah, some Mecha Kong, Cloverfield, and he also has some giant robots, Jet Jaeger, Mogura, Mecha Ghidorah, Gypsy Danger, and with all that, I think you can see where I'm going with this. If this were to become a game, it would be pretty hard to get stuff like Cloverfield, Gamera, and Gypsy Danger due to legal reasons, but everything else could be fair game. Once they were done admiring his collection, they decided to throw out the idea of getting into stop-motion movies. The owner of the place agrees, as they are trying to decide which Godzilla version to use, since, you know, Godzilla's the most famous kaiju, might as well use a Godzilla as the whole premise of this. They end up coming down to two of the Godzillas, one being Shin Godzilla and Legendary Pictures Godzilla. These both make sense because pretty much they're the newest versions and the most relevant at the moment. The screen cuts to a Shin Godzilla figure standing in a green screen that turns into Paris, and Shin Godzilla turns into a high quality 3D model. Then you proceed to the tutorial for the quote-unquote villain side of things. Your mission: destroy Paris. After destroying a bit of the city, another one of the friends cuts in, saying something around the lines, "Wait, we can't have Godzilla be the villain. He proceeds to grab the legendary Godzilla and makes a tackle the Shin one. Then, as if perfectly synced, both of them begin to charge up the iconic atomic breath. Then you're left to pick. Will you be a destroyer? Pick Shin Godzilla. Or a savior? Pick legendary Godzilla. This honestly won't really matter too much, but it will let you select which one you'll be using during the battle tutorial. After defeating whichever one you didn't pick and learning the basics of combat, you're introduced to the menu, which will look like an apartment with different sections. The green screen is you will select story modes, and this game's actual story is that, well, there isn't really one. If you pick the quote-unquote villain, which pretty much is the one that has the most content, where you start off destroying the city and then battle either a guardian of Earth like Mothra or Gamera, or a weapon of the humans like Mechagodzilla, Gypsy Danger, Mogera, etc., and then finish destroying the city. The hero mode is pretty much just battle the monster that is attacking the city. Yeah, the story isn't really there just because, let's be real, most people just want the big monsters fighting each other, and that's completely fine. Some people do like an actual story, but I don't think that would be possible unless you make human characters playable, and the truth is, I just want more 3D arena fighting with big monsters like the Pipeworks Godzilla Trilogy. The story from the movies is pretty much just based on RNG, depending on which of the two modes you base, and it's sort of gonna try to create some generic kaiju movie that lets you play through it. Savior, where you will pick any of the monsters slash robots that have been good in any movie, but you will only play that version. For example, if you pick Godzilla, you'll only be able to pick the Showa era or the legendary one, since I believe those are the only hero Godzillas. And in this mode, you'll show up on a random map that has already been about 25 to 50% destroyed. Sometimes you'll end up fighting multiple enemies at once with a random chance of an ally showing up, and that's pretty much it for hero mode. The second mode though is Destroyer, where you pick a villain monster slash robot. Quick editor's note: not many robot villains exist within the Toho universe, besides like the first version of Mechagodzilla and FalKKonE. I guess you can use the the third version of Mechagodzilla, Kiryu, since he sometimes reverts back to the original Godzilla, but it's better just to have him as one of the weapons for humans. Like one of the many versions of King Ghidorah, your main goal is to destroy the map in its entirety, all 100%, while having to fight against the military that will bring out weapons like tanks, normal military stuff, Weapon X, and the Gotengo. If you're quick to deal with whatever the weapons send out, then you'll be fine when a random hero monster shows up and tries to stop you from destroying them. You destroy them and then finish off the city, and if you don't finish the military weapon off before the hero monster shows up, well, they're both pretty much gonna team up on you. Now, for multiplayer, I want to do something more than just 1v1 3D arena fights like Pipeworks games. But I mean, that's exactly what I wanted when I set out to write the script, because, you know, I'm a stupid imbecile that doesn't know what he really wants. So, here's what I came up with. 3 different modes. The first one being the more basic one, where you will have the 1v1 against another player, or CPU if you're a lonely bastard, where you can pick any monster from the playable cast, which should be every Toho monster, every movie version of them included, and some extra cast for things that would make sense, like Gypsy Danger, and the Cloverfield monster, and Gamera, because let's be honest, most of the kaiju community wants to see an official fight between Gamera and Godzilla. Not saying that it probably wouldn't end the same way that Death Battle made theirs end, but hey, I still want an official fight. Anyway, Cloverfield makes sense because it's a big-ass monster, Gypsy Danger because it's a big-ass robot built to fight big-ass monsters, and Gamera because it's a big-ass monster that fights other big-ass monsters just like Godzilla. These all just make sense. They can get added into this game. I understand there could be legal problems, but it's not a real game. So this is my video, this is my script, this is my dream Godzilla game, I guess, quote unquote. So yeah, that's what I would like. You can pick any map, and which, I mean, the maps would pretty much just be like cities. Yeah, it's just like major cities from our world, maybe like some alien planet as well. And yeah, you pick any of these cities, maps, whatever gets added, and fight each other. That's pretty much it for the mode. The next would be a game mode that allows you to go on a rampage throughout one of the maps, destroying a major city, racking up points, while the militaries of the world try to stop you. Now, this could just be a single player mode, and by trying to beat your own high score and trying to do it faster and stuff, but in multiplayer, this part is for the online. Offline, you sort of would be taking turns with other local players, so like pretty much just throwing the controller at each other when you're done. You would go up against a couple of other players. Now, sort of to explain it, because I don't really explain this in the script, I didn't really write an explanation. You pick a map, and and for an example, let's say 4 players, everyone against everyone. The map that gets picked sort of gets duplicated, and each player gets spawned in their own version of the map, and well, they each have it to themselves, with higher score at the end of the timer winning, or the first one to die loses, because the military is going to be a bit more powered up than in other modes, so it can be fair for them to fight you. Now, the final game mode would be a combination of both of these. Now, hear me out, because this might sound like a cop-out slash just added to pad out the game video in this case, but no, it fits extremely well with the theme of this video, which pretty much is make your own Godzilla film. So by combining both of the previous modes, you can get the best experience by teaming up with your friends to destroy the world, or you could just battle each other for dominance, and after you defeat your opponent, you can absorb the body and power up, becoming an unstoppable force. This pretty much is just an online, or offline I guess, free mode, where you'll be able to do whatever you really want with the game. Finally, before ending this section, I feel like mentioning that both the 1v1 and the destruction will have ranked and casual modes. Some people may be thinking, why a ranked mode? And well, let people play however they want. If someone wants to be number 1 on this theoretical Godzilla game, let them. The other day I was speedrunning a certain Godzilla game, turn on bell notifications to catch my streams. Some people want rankings, no matter how casual the game is. Looking at Smash, for an example, if you weren't aware, Smash was supposed to be a simple party game to be compared with something like Mario Party, but instead, it became a new type of fighting game, a platform fighter, that has been featured in EVO, the world's biggest fighting game tournament, and has such a huge fandom, #FreeMelee. There aren't many extra modes, maybe something small like a gallery that shows up details of characters alongside their in-game models and like stats that would show up in collection books, but the real extra mode, this is like the real shit of the game, would be sort of like a Mario Maker-esque mode that lets you make your own story mode. For example, let's say you want to make your own version of the GameCube's game Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee Adventure Mode, which for those that don't know or just don't come to my streams, motherfuckers, the Adventure Mode would let you pick a character from the cast and have a 1-round fight against the rest of the cast until you reach the final boss, which I believe is Mechagodzilla for everyone except, well, Mechagodzilla, who fights Mecha Ghidorah. Now, let's say you want to make it for Gamera. You pick which monsters Gamera will fight and in what order. So let's say you want to make Gamera fight the Toho monsters, so you want to make it go in order of weakest to strongest, and you end up fighting one of the versions of Godzilla at the very end. So that's just like the surface of the water with what you could do, but of course, you could download the stuff that other players made online and even upload your own levels. I think it fits super well the theme of this game, and well, I just want to say this would be badass if it were able to happen. This is the first of many videos like this to come. I've really enjoyed coming up with ideas for games for certain series, and even though I can't make these happen in real life, I still really enjoy making this. Yes, multiple, since I've already made multiple scripts. Some that I will have to go rewrite before making into the videos because it took too long. Anyway, but whatever, I'm still gonna release them just with some changes. And some that are ready to go. I hope you enjoyed the first episode, and go ahead and tell me your thoughts about this quote-unquote Godzilla game. But not just what are your thoughts on the series, but not just that. What are your thoughts on the series as a whole? Let me know what games you would like to hear my take on, and join me next time when we take a look at a series very near and dear to my heart. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.